World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.
Good day to all of our listeners here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service. This is World News in 5 and I'm your host, Steph Vicente. Iran's leaders are facing their biggest crisis since the 1979 Islamic Revolution. Authorities have launched an unprecedented security crackdown along with the near-total internet shutdown measures not seen in past unrest. A Tehran resident told BBC Persian that crowds were massive on Friday with gunfire heard across the city. By Saturday night, the streets had become much calmer. United States President Donald Trump has repeatedly warned of possible military action coming 7 months after American strikes hit key Iranian nuclear sites during a brief war between Iran and Israel, a conflict that weakened the regime. Analysts say negotiations alone are unlikely to calm the unrest. Iran is also unlikely to accept U.S. demands such as ending all nuclear enrichment, a key issue tied to the country's core strategic beliefs. Despite intense pressure at home and abroad, there are no signs that Iran's leaders are backing down or changing direction. In other news overseas, Cuba's president has rejected U.S. President Donald Trump's call for Havana to make a deal with Washington. It was reported by CNN that President Miguel Diaz-Canel said that Cuba will not be dictated to by any foreign power, responding to Trump's warning that it is too late to delay negotiations. Trump has threatened to cut Cuba off from Venezuelan oil and financial support, aid the island nation has relied on for decades. Cuba has long received large amounts of oil from Venezuela, but recent developments have changed the situation. Following a U.S. operation that captured Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, President Trump announced that Venezuela would now supply tens of millions of barrels of oil to the United States instead. In a post on Truth Social, Trump said Cuba had survived for years on Venezuelan oil and money in exchange for providing security services to Venezuelan leaders, but said the arrangement is now over. In response, the Cuban government said 32 Cuban citizens were killed during the U.S. operation to capture Maduro. President Diaz-Canel strongly rejected outside interference, saying Cuba has been under pressure from the United States for more than 6 decades. And finally, South Korea's exports of food and agriculture-related products hit a record high in 2025. According to news outlet Yonhap, the Agriculture Ministry says reports reached nearly $13.6 billion US dollars, driven by the growing global popularity of Korean food. The so-called K-Food Plus sector grew by more than 5% from the previous year. The term is used to promote Korean food, agricultural goods, and related products overseas. Exports of food and farm products alone rose to more than $10.4 billion, marking 10 straight years of growth. Shipments of agriculture-related items such as farm machinery and veterinary medicine also climbed sharply, reaching a new high of $3.2 billion. Officials say strong demand for Korean instant noodles, known as ramyeon, led the surge along with other popular products like sauces, kimchi, ice cream, strawberries, and pork. Ramyeon exports reached $1.5 billion for the first time, jumping nearly 22%. Exports of sauces, ice cream, grapes, and strawberries also posted solid gains. By market, the United States was the top importer of Korean agro-food products, followed by China, where spicy ramyun and sauces remain in high demand. And that concludes today's edition of World News in 5. For Radyo Pilipinas World Service, this has been Steph Vicente. Good day and stay safe, everyone.
World News in 5.
Right now.
News and developments making headlines around the world in 5 minutes. World News in 5. Here on Radyo Pilipinas World Service.